Hey, welcome back everybody. That was the Zorro series I first knew. That was the Zorro series that I grew up with. That was the Zorro series that I liked, that I enjoyed, that I wanted to watch. It's what got me into the Zorro character, yeah, on the whole, and then came the movies and whatnot. Now, I've always enjoyed a good sword fight. I like the beauty of it, the elegance, the skill, all of that. And Zorro was an interesting character for me. He was a man fighting against oppression and, was one of the first people to ever wear durag. And he rocked that hard. So a new Zorro series is in the works and it's going to be headed up by the good people at CW. So here it is. Zorro drama with female lead from Robert and Rebecca Rodriguez, Sean Tritter and Propagate in works at the CW. Well, already I'm worried. Let's see what they say here. Zorro is headed to the CW. The Young Skewing Network has put in development a gender-swapped reimagining of the classic masked vigilante. Character from filmmaker Robert Rodriguez, writer-director Rebecca Rodriguez, Sean Tritter, and Ben Silverman and Howard T. Yeah, okay, alright. This is a new incarnation of the project which was in development at NBC during the 2020 to 2021 cycle, with Tritter as a new addition to the brother and sister writing team of Robert and Rebecca Rodriguez. Co-penned by the trio and to be directed by Rebecca Rodriguez in Zorro, a young Latinx woman seeking vengeance for her father's murder joins a secret society and adopts the outlaw persona of Zorro. I hear the story by Robert and Rebecca Rodriguez was already in place with Tritter, who has an overall deal at CBS Studios, came on board earlier this cycle to write the script. Okay, now I have no idea what Latinx, whatever that is. I don't know what that means. I'm not one of those people into all these new hype saying things. I mean, some I know, some I don't. So when I saw the term, I decided, okay, look it up. What does it mean? And here's what I found. Latinx, a person of Latin American origin or descent, used as a gender-neutral or non-binary alternative to Latino or Latina. The book shares stories of the civil rights struggle of American Latin. Okay. Alright. So it's the LGBTQ plus people. Okay. Alright. So it's the alphabet people make up this term. Well, clearly, since they come up with this word, it must be like the freaking Rosetta Stone, because them have a new word every week for something. Alright, so okay, that is the word they come up with. Alright, now, here's the problem with it. When I decided to look in more into the Latinx thing, the people who they make this word for are not happy about it. Here's an article from the Washington Post. Despite the increasing use of Latinx in the news media and by some politicians, the gender-neutral, always this gender-neutral shit, word to describe people of Latin American descent is not the preferred term among that group. less than a quarter, 23% of those who identify as Hispanic or Latino have ever heard of the term Latinx. A survey found some groups within those who identify as Latino are more likely to use the term than others. Younger people, college, okay, you know, people, I looked this up. I really did look this up online, and I found several things talking about how the very people who they designed this word for are not happy about it. People don't like the term being used, and especially the people who you develop the term for, which are the Latino people. You suddenly give this title to them and expect them to be happy. I mean, it's a very, very small minority pushing this. Very small. And yet, for some reason, they seem to think that because you have these people on Twitter blowing this up, that somehow makes it right, makes it good. The people who you're making this for are not happy about it at all. They don't like the term, they don't like it being used. Some even consider it to be a racial slur. Some consider it to be a racial slur. And yet, CW, Hollywood, the rest of them keep pushing this thing. Like they figure to themselves that eventually people are going to have to learn to like it. But that's not working out. People are very upset. Very upset. They find the term offensive, they find it degrading, and they have a problem with it. So the people you're trying to reach, you're already making a problem for. So that's one. The second topic I want to raise in regards to this Zorro thing. You had so much info, so much to work with to make a Zorro series. You could have made a Zorro series, have Zorro, instead of gender swapping him, have Zorro be Zorro, and you would have made this series. You could have had cool sword fights, gadgets if you wanted to. You know, there was so much to work with for a Zorro series. But you didn't do that. You decided to gender swap because that somehow seems to work no matter how much you fail miserably at it. And yet you want to do this. Now, here's the thing about it. When they're sending out these press releases, they have keywords that the creators tell the press to include in these press releases. And one of the words that they insisted on using here is Latinx. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I really don't know if it's right or not. I really don't. They insist that they use the word Latinx. So already you're done pissing off a large demographic of the people you're trying to work with. And the fact that it's Latinx and, you know, it was created by the alphabet people, you know what people already looking to expect in this show. A whole set of, you know, because you already say it's a young Latinx woman. I mean, come on, man. Nobody wants to see this. And you keep doing these things without any concern for anything that came before, whether it was good or not. I mean, hold on a minute. Let me see if I could find something here. Yeah, they did a TV series called Queen of Swords some years ago, and this was basically just a Zorro remake. You understand? It was basically just a Zorro remake. I was basically what they're trying to do here was a Zorro gender swapped sort of thing that they did. Yeah, I mean, here's in 1817, a young Spanish aristocrat, Tessa Alvarez, returns to Alvarado, so returns to Spanish California after the death of her father and finds her home in ruins. Her father, manservant, reduced to stealing, yada, 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 and she has to go and do all of this thing. Now, I watched Queen of Swords. They made 22 episodes for Queen of Swords. They made 22 episodes for it, and then they only showed 8 episodes on TV before they canceled it, and then you could still watch the 22 episodes. You could stream it online and watch it. But I watched 2 episodes of it, and apart from that show having very sexy and attractive women, the show had absolutely nothing else to it. The sword fighting looked like people at the second week of fencing class. The action was, you could see people were literally pulling their punches. Even the story and the pace was not working. And I could understand it never made it past a full season because it wasn't working. They weren't concentrating on building a good story. What they were trying to do was gender swap Zorro, throw in hot women and figure, okay, that would work. But with this that they want to do here now, you know what's going to happen. It's not even going to be really hot women doing this thing anymore, because apparently if you're sexy now, if you're a sexy woman in Hollywood now, it's CW, you have to cover up, you have to this, you have to that, all kind of things. But if they cast her as a lesbian, it's going to be all out there for everybody to see, and they call that female empowerment. Nobody wants to see this. People want to watch Zorro. I'm a big Zorro fan, and I can tell you that a lot of other people who like Zorro, you could bring back a Zorro series and make it really good. Instead, you decide to do this. There was even a Zorro comic, and there was another character in the Zorro comic called Lady Rawhide. Should take a chance to do a Google search on Lady Rawhide. If I get a picture of her, show, but yeah, do a Google search for Lady Rawhide. She was another Zorro thing, and she had a very revealing outfit and all that. But this was just in the comics. But it doesn't work. We had the Zorro movie with Antonio Banderas. The first one was good, the second one was, but the first movie was good. People want sword fighting action. This is what they want. They don't want you trying this woke nonsense and saying that, okay, let us put in a woman and that's going to make it better, and go around using terms like Latinx to offend the very people who you're trying to make it for. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. It's insulting and people don't like it. Now, I don't like to judge a show before I have seen it. I don't like to do that. I don't like to judge a show before I have seen it. But in watching this, what they've put out here, and this is only a little bit of what they put out. I said they put out these press releases about a year or so before they look to do anything. So the little that we've gotten here is not all that may be included in this series. So it may very well be more wokeness to come. I don't like to judge a show before I've seen it, but as far as I'm concerned, this thing is already dead before it even hit the water. Nobody wants this. You don't care, and this is what you do. I mean, you already have shows like Naomi, and you want to make more of this nonsense. As usual, if you like the video, be sure to give it a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Let me know in the comments anything you want to see. I am working on getting up my Instagram and other social media platforms soon, so once I do, I'll let you know. Until next video, take care and have a good day. Later.